next point I am going to start, that is packages in Java. Package is what? Package is nothing but a collection or group. Okay, we already use java.lang package in our program. Java.lang means system, we are using system.out.println statement. That system is nothing but a class and that is present inside java.lang package. We already discussed about that. Package is nothing but a collection of classes and interfaces and other sub packages. A package can have internally any other package, that is called as a sub package. Now package is nothing but a group or collection. It is having internally classes, interfaces and sub packages. Already you know what is class. Class is a collection of methods and attributes, means data members and methods. Then interfaces means this is an abstract type that will represent how the class will behave. Okay, and sub packages means it is just like again a package, it is again having internally classes and interfaces. Okay, now how to use this package? There are some advantages of using package. The first one is to resolve naming conflicts. Means what? Suppose I want to create two classes having same name. For example, there is a computer science department and ENTC department. Okay, there are suppose two departments. Okay, this is computer science and electronics and telecommunication. Now these two departments are there. In both departments I want to create a student class. Okay, some students are from this and again students. Means what? I want to create student class that is for computer science department and again I want to create one more student class that is for ECE department. Suppose there is no any way to differentiate these two, then it is not allowed. We have to give different names to two classes. Why we create class? To use it, to reuse it, to create any object of that class. We create a class. Suppose there is no facility to distinguish these two classes, then we have to give different names to these two classes. If you want to use same name to different classes, there is only one way, that create two packages and whatever class just store inside that package. That is the only way, because package is nothing but collection of a classes. Package can have internally class. I will create here student class and I will store inside this CSE package. Again I will create same student class and I will store inside this ECE package. Now we can access this student using this package name dot class name. This student I can access using package name dot class name. In this way, means to avoid naming conflicts. Means suppose I am only using students, then what will happen? There is a confusion. Okay, because there are two student classes present and I am only using students, then there is a confusion that which student class. If I have stored this students class inside one package, second students class inside any other package, then no problem, we can easily access that students class. We can easily distinguish that students class using package name. Getting? Now one more built-in package example. There is a java.util package, you already know. Okay, java.util. This is internally having one date class. Okay, dot date. Date class is to handle date time. Okay, now next java.sql package is there. That is again having date class. Suppose in a program I have written statement like this. Import. See, import statement we can use to import any package inside our program. If you want to use any inbuilt functionality, then just import that package and use its functionality. In this way, suppose I have written like this, import java.util.star suppose. Now see, here I have written java.util.star, here java.sql.star. Okay, if we have written like this, then what will happen? Suppose we have created any object, then there is a confusion to compiler that whether to use this date class from util or SQL. There is a confusion, and to resolve this confusion we have to write here full name, means just like package name dot class name java dot util dot date. Suppose I am writing like this, then there will be no any confusion. If we have written only this statement, we have not written this one, then no problem, then no need to write in this way. Suppose we have written only this statement and not written this one, then again no problem, then it will be considered as a part of this SQL package. Getting? Now to avoid naming conflicts, we can use package. This is the first advantage of using packages. So package is what? Package is nothing but a collection of similar type of classes, interfaces and sub packages. The similar type is important. Why? Because suppose you want to do any IO functionality, means there is an inbuilt package for IO functionality, that is java.io package. There is a built-in package like java.sql, that is for database operations. Okay, means if you want to do any database operation, then you can import this java.sql package. Means whatever inbuilt packages provided by this Java language, those are having their own purpose. Means related classes should be enclosed inside one unit, single unit. That is nothing but encapsulating multiple classes, interfaces and sub packages together in a single unit, and for that we can create a package. Now next point is why to use this package. The first is preventing naming conflicts, means more than one classes can have same name because of this package concept only. Two students classes I want to create. The first one is for this CSE department, second one is for ECE department. Suppose Java is not supporting this package concept, then what will happen? No facility to use same name to multiple classes. Java is supporting this package concept. That's why we can create two different packages, and inside that we can create two different classes having same name. And for that we can write here like preventing naming conflicts. Means whenever we will use that student, then there is again problem. Here we can write like CSE.student. We have to create this package first, and inside that we can create this student class. Again we will create one more package, inside that we will create the student class. How to do that, everything I am going to explain, don't worry. And then suppose I want to use this student class in my any other program, then I will write like this CSE.student, or I will write like import CSE. And then suppose I want to create object of this student class, simple student as equal to new student. Getting? So again this is built-in example. There are two packages, java.util and java.sql. Both are having this date class internally. If I want to use this date class, I can write java.util.date. Okay, I want to use this date class, I can write java.sql.date. Again we can prevent naming conflict between these two. Means I want to use date class from util package, I can write simple java.util.date wherever I want, or I can just import that java.util.star and then I can use date. Then compiler will automatically understand that this one is from this. If we are using these two both statements, then only there is a problem, and that we can resolve using full name of that class. Full name means just full qualified name, means just package name dot class name. Now see here again, this Java is a main package and inside that util is a sub package actually. Getting? That Java main package is having all internal sub packages. These packages are totally just like directories, means these are related with directories. Directories means folders. You know that folder and file concept. Means one folder, suppose you are creating, inside that you can place multiple files. One folder can have internally subfolder and it is again having files. The same thing is here. The package, whatever package, suppose I have written like this, then this is a class and these two are folders. Like this Java is a main folder, inside that there is a subfolder util, and inside that there is a date class present, that is a file, class file. Getting? This structure denotes that this is a main folder, main directory which is present inside that class path, whatever class path you have mentioned. and that is nothing but current working directory. Inside that current working directory there is a Java folder, inside that there is a util folder, subfolder inside that Java, and inside that there is a date class, that is a class file. Getting com dot eLogic dot practice, this is my package name. Suppose this is my package name, we can create package in this way also, just like inbuilt packages, and this is a better option. Always this type of package name is given. Why? Because suppose I want to create sub packages, multiple sub packages under this com. Suppose in current working directory there is a com folder created, inside that there is eLogic folder, inside that practice folder. Getting? Suppose I want to just create multiple packages. The main package I want like com, inside that eLogic, and inside that I want multiple sub packages. Getting? In this way the structure will be like that. There inside current working directory there is a main folder, that is com folder. Inside that there is a eLogic folder. Again inside that practice folder. These are all directories and subdirectories. This is the main directory. Inside that there is a com folder. Com folder is nothing but directory. Inside that subdirectory eLogic, inside that subdirectory practice. Getting? In this way you can create a package like this also. And now already there are directories or subdirectories present, don't worry about that. If you have written statement like this package com.elogic.practice, automatically those directories will get created internally automatically. How? Again I am going to explain after some time. Now first point is preventing naming conflicts. This is the first point. Now see, here we are just grouping similar kind of classes inside one folder. Folder means one package. That's why maintainability will be automatically improved. Now I have already created suppose one Java application. I have created 5 packages, user defined packages. Suppose any functionality I want to change, then I can go inside that package and I can change that. If there is no any package concept, then I will create multiple classes and all are not grouped. Okay, there is no any grouping. Then what will happen? If I want to modify something, I have to go through all the classes. Getting? To improve modularity or maintainability. Modularity means, see, we have seen functions concept in C programming, simple. Now what is the use of function? To improve modularity of a program, because we can create a module for some functionality and that we can use again and again. That is nothing but modularity concept. Here the same concept is applicable. Suppose I want to use some classes again and again inside our Java application. I will create one package for that. I will place all those same kind of classes inside that package and I will reuse it. Maintainability means if you want to do any modification or if you want to just upgrade your system, you want to change something, then it is easy if everything is just a modular structure, means some divided structure, then it is very easy to maintain it. You want to do any changes or you want to upgrade system, you want to add something, anything, that is nothing but maintainability of your application. Maintainability will be automatically improved because of this package concept. Next one is modularity will be improved. Getting? These are again 2 advantages. The maintainability and modularity will be improved. Getting? Just note down these points. Now next one is security, providing controlled access. Okay, security. Security means what? See, we know that there is a access modifier concept. We know package access. Package access means, tell me, what is package access? Tell me about default access modifier. What is this? Access modifiers, private, public, default, protected. Okay, these four are main basic access modifier. If we are not mentioning any access modifier, then that will be default. Now what are the properties of that default access modifier? Having any method or any class, if having default access modifier, then that is accessible only inside package. That default access modifier and this package is interrelated, means that is actually package access modifier, but don't write that package keyword there, getting, because there is a other purpose of package keyword. That's why if you are not writing anything, that means that is a default access modifier. If anything is having like class or method is having default access modifier, then it is accessible only inside that package, means using that package concept we can give security or we can give limited access. If you want that this module should be, module means this unit, it may be any class or method or anything, this should be accessible inside only this package, then there you can mention that default access modifier. But that should be a package, means whatever you are writing, that should be inside a package you have to write. Getting, how to create that package, how to write classes inside package, everything I am going to explain. Now here just security, means just we are just providing security to that. Outside this package, don't provide access to this. Means using the default access modifier, we can give package access. Getting, next one is, you know, the protected access modifier. Already from C++ you know this protected. What is that? Protected access modifier, if you are using in C++, the meaning is like this. These are accessible only in that class and derived class. Suppose there is a data member or any method, for that you have given protected access modifier, then that is accessible inside that class and inside its derived class. Suppose that derived class is outside that package. Suppose you have created any class that is present inside any package. You have created its derived class and that is present inside any other package. Then is that protected member is accessible in that derived class? No. Yes, it is accessible. There is one package, let pack1. Okay, you have created suppose one class ABC and that is inside pack1. There is one protected member, suppose protected, let int, I am writing one member only, not writing that method. Just suppose this is protected int x. Okay, now suppose in the same package I have created one more class like xyz extends ABC. Inside that you can access this x very easily, because you know that protected members are accessible in derived classes in the same package, no problem. But suppose this is inside pack1 and this one is inside pack2. Suppose you have written like package pack1, package pack2. This is any other Java file. There you have written suppose package pack2 and inside that you have written this class, but this is extending from this ABC. And if you want to extend in this way, then you have to just import this package first, then only you can do this. Okay, this xyz is derived from this one. Now you can easily access again this x here, no problem. Keep in mind this protected access modifier. If inside that package, same package, if that any inherited class, then there you can access. If any other package there is inherited class, there also you can access that protected member. Getting, now again one more point keep in mind, if you have given protected access modifier to any member, then it is accessible inside that package, and if there is any derived class outside that package, then there also you can access. Means protected members are accessible inside package and inside derived classes. Always keep in mind this point. Means using this package concept we can give security. Either using package access modifier means default access modifier and protected access modifier, these are totally linked with this package concept, those two modifiers. Getting, any doubts now? These are just uses or advantages of using packages in Java. Keep in mind that default access modifier and package access modifier, very much important. Okay, public, you already know, public is accessible everywhere and private is accessible only in that class. Getting? Now next point is, if you want to search for any module or any class, any method, if you know package, then it is very easy, because of packages concept, modularity improved. Your main application is divided into different modules in the form of packages. Here, searching for particular class, for particular enumerated data type or particular interface, if you want to search, then it is easy to search because of this package concept. Searching or locating any class, any interface, enumeration, you already know all these points. And there is one more point, annotations. What is that annotation? I will explain in any other session. Okay, annotations. Improved means will become fast. Okay, see here, searching or locating any class. If you want to search for any class, if you know package, then you can easily search. If you want to search for any interface or any enumeration means enum, we have seen, or annotation, that part we will see in any other session. If you want to search for any unit inside your application, if you know the package, then you can easily search for that. Because of this package concept, you have got this again one more advantage. Okay, and here because of package we are achieving data encapsulation and data hiding. How data hiding? See, we can provide security to data because of that package access modifier, and package means default access modifier and protected access modifier, means indirectly we are just enclosing some same kind of information or same kind of like interfaces or classes in a single unit that is not accessible outside that unit if we have given that default access modifier or again using that protected access modifier. And here we are achieving encapsulation, here we are achieving data hiding, we are just hiding that from direct access. Okay, and we are again achieving here security. Getting? That is again very much important. Now see what we have seen here, package is nothing but a group of similar kind of classes, interfaces and sub-packages. What are the advantages of? The first one is preventing naming conflicts. Two more than one classes can have same name, we have to place those classes inside different packages, then you can achieve this. Next one is maintainability, modularity improved. Already you know. Next, security, we are providing controlled access using that default access modifier and protected access modifier. Searching or locating for any particular class, interface, enumeration or annotation is easy because of package concept. Next one is here encapsulation and data hiding we are achieving. Okay, these are just important points about packages. That is just an introductory part. Now there are basically two types of packages that we have to see now. Any doubts in this? Okay. Packages are of two types, built-in packages and user-defined. Now the Java application programming interface means that Java itself is providing some already defined packages, those we can directly use in our program with the help of import statement. Those are called as built-in packages. These are the packages provided by Java API, that is application programming interface. And we can also create our own packages and we can place any number of classes or interfaces inside that. Those are called as user defined, means defined or created by programmer. Those are called as user defined packages created by programmer. Built-in packages means those are defined by Java API. Means Java API means Java application programming interface itself provides some packages. There are in average 5000 classes are there, and those are inside different packages. Okay, those are present inside this Java API. For example, java.lang package. Java.lang package is very much important package, and that will be imported by default in our Java program. There is no need to write import statement for this java.lang. Now this is having language support. Language means all the basic functionalities present inside that. For example, suppose you want to display something, then system class is there, and that is present inside this java.lang package. Means any basic functionality if you want to achieve, that is present inside java.lang package. For example, string class is there, string builder class is there, string buffer class is there, all wrapper classes, those are all present inside this java.lang. Getting? Now the next one is java.util. This util package already we have used, that is scanner class is present inside this java.util package, that we can use to achieve input from user. But the main use of this java.util package is it is having collection framework. Array list is a class present inside that java.util package, and that comes under this collection framework. Okay, that java.util is having internally that array list class, and that array list class is having functionality to group multiple integers suppose or characters suppose. There are some methods already defined inside that array list class. Means if you want to do any functionality on that group, if you have created one object of that array list class, it is nothing but that one object is a collection of multiple elements of same kind. Means you can consider one array as a one object, and that is the object of array list class, and there are inbuilt methods again present to work on that array list object. Getting? Means we have seen in C or C++ that we can again inside Java basics that we can create an array and we can do multiple functionalities on that array, but that is inbuilt inside that array list. We can just call those functionalities. Okay, now this is collection framework. It is having array list, linked list is there. Okay, all are present inside this java.util package. Getting? See, one more point is there inside that util package. There is a random number generator. If you want to do any program and there you need a random number generation, then you can use this again java.util package. Now java.io functionality if you want to achieve, then you can use that java.io. For example, that buffered reader class is present inside this java.io that you can use for accepting user input. Getting? Means suppose you have accepted anything using that buffered reader class, then that is present in the form of string, and that you have to convert to integer, character, float as per your need. Means it will be considered just like a stream. Stream is nothing but a group of bytes. Okay, and means whatever you will accept from user, that is in the form of stream if you are using this package. Means if this package is providing stream based type. Getting? And here also if you want to do any file handling, just like C, C++, the Java is again supporting file handling. You want to create any file, you want to write data inside any file, you want to read any file, then for that again you have to use this java.io package. Getting? Now that example is buffered reader. See, suppose you have accepted anything from user using that buffered reader object, then that is in the form of stream. Means that will be considered as a string again. Okay, that will be considered as a string, and that you have to convert to integer, character or float as per your need. Now what you will use there? You know that how to convert string to integer, string to character, string to float. We have already seen using wrapper class. Using wrapper classes. Integer wrapper class is having parse int method. Float wrapper class is having parse float, parse double. Those are all static methods. That's why we have to use like integer dot parseInt to convert that. That all functionality is present in that wrapper class. Now that wrapper classes are present in java.lang package. But if you want to accept using that buffered reader, then you have to import this java.io package. Means IO functionality, normal stream based IO or file IO. Anything you can achieve with the help of this IO package, file IO. Getting? Now there is one more, java.awt. Now see what is the purpose of using this package. This package is having internally classes required for graphical user interface. You want to create suppose any GUI, graphical user interface, then you have to use this AWT package. Okay. Windows toolkit means if you are considering any window, any screen on your computer system, then what you will see? Suppose you are seeing any form. That form is having multiple tools like button, text box, then label, like this, that you can form with the help of Java, again Java application, and for that this package will support, because this package is having all inbuilt classes required for GUI. Okay, GUI means graphical user interface. If you want to again handle graphics and images, then also you can use this java.awt. Means if you want to create any graphical user interface, or you want some graphics in your application, you want to handle some images in your application, then you have to use this java.awt package. Now next one is java.net package. This net stands for networking. If you want to do any networking, then you can use this java.net package. Networking applications. Already we have seen that date class is present inside java.sql and java.util. The same java.sql supports all database application. Whatever classes needed for database application, those are present inside this java.sql package. Java.applet internet programming. If you want to create any applet, then you can use java.applet package for applet creation. Getting? These are all inbuilt packages. There are too many inbuilt packages, but some of the most commonly used packages I have discussed here. See, packages provided by Java API means application programming interface by Java itself. Whatever provided, that is nothing but inbuilt package. Inbuilt packages we can import in our program. How to write that import statement I am going to explain. Import in our program, and from whatever classes present inside that Java package you can use easily. Now there are multiple Java inbuilt packages like java.lang for whatever basic functionality needed by your Java program, that you can get with the help of this java.lang package. There is no need to import this package explicitly. If you are creating any Java program, then by default it will be there. Okay, next one is java.util package is supporting some collection frameworks like ArrayList, linked list. It is also providing some utility. Utility means suppose you want to just do any date manipulation. If you want to do some we have seen that collection related applications. If you want to create collection related means, for example, ArrayList. Okay, if you want to achieve some random number generation, then you can use this java.util package. Java.io IO functionality, whether it may be stream based or means normal IO, that is accepting something from user and just displaying something to user, that you can achieve with the help of this java.io. Again file IO you can achieve. Okay, next one is java.awt, that is for graphical user interface. Java.net networking application, simple, remember, like net networking. Okay, java.sql, SQL stands for database applications. Then applet to create applet is nothing but an internet application. Okay, if you want to run anything on internet, then that should be created just like applets are just whatever programs running on internet, those are nothing but applets that you can achieve with the help of this java.applet package. These are some examples of built-in packages. Now if you want to use any built-in package, then you have to use import keyword. Already you know, but that is remaining. Import keyword can be used to import package in our program, built-in package. Now see how to write. The syntax is like just write import and package name and give semicolon. Okay, this is the syntax to import any package. Suppose I am writing, there are two syntaxes. Suppose I am writing package name at star, or you can write import package name dot class name. Means only one class. See, if you have written like package name dot star, meaning of this statement is all classes I want to use from this package. If you have written package name dot class name, is only this class I want to use from this package. Okay, means see, there are two ways. This is for all classes. If you have written this type of import statement, then you can use all classes from this package. If you have written statement like this, you can use only one class that is represented by this class name inside your program. Okay. Now one more point always keep in mind. Suppose I have written statement like this, import java.awt.star. What is the meaning of this statement? Means I can use all classes from this AWT package. Suppose I am writing like this, java.awt.image star. What is the difference in between these two? That I want to explain. See, this AWT is a main package and it is having multiple classes in it. This image is not a class. Keep in mind, image is a sub package. Okay. Now suppose you have written like this, java.awt.star. The meaning is like this, all classes from this AWT package. But if this AWT package java.awt is having any sub package, then classes from that sub package you cannot use if you have written statement like this. Means it means that only classes from that java.awt package. It doesn't mean that sub packages. Means a package can have internally sub package. If you have written this statement, you can use only the classes from this main package. But this package is also having one image package, sub package inside that. If you want classes from that image package also, then you have to write both these statements. Here consider this image is a sub package. And here, suppose you have written only this statement, then you can only use classes from this sub package. If you have written this statement, you can only use classes from this AWT, java.awt, but not any internal sub packages. If you have written both, you can use all classes and some classes whatever present inside that image sub package. But if any other sub package is there, from that you cannot use. Getting? This is just a import statement. How it will work? Getting? Any doubts? That's it. Now the next point is user defined package. Now user defined packages means the packages created by the programmer. Simple syntax is there. Syntax is means first you have to write package keyword to create a package. See, to use a package we have to use import keyword. To create a package we have to use package keyword. After just like a class, whenever you are creating any class, then we write like class and class name. In the same way we can create package using package name. Package is a keyword. Okay, and here you have to give package name. This is just a syntax. Syntax may just use package keyword and then any package name you can give here. Okay, now how to create a package? For that I am giving one example. Let package pack1 I am creating. Simple. Okay, then after that I am writing like class test, and inside that public static void main string args, then system dot out dot println hello. This is my simple Java program to display hello message. See, up to this point we were not used anywhere that package statement, but it is always recommended that use package statement as a first statement in your Java program. Compulsory. Whatever program you are creating, it should start with a package. Whatever classes you are creating here, those will be inside that package. Getting? Now here package pack1 I have written. Here this package will be created. A package is nothing but a folder, like just like a folder. Now whenever we will create this, then we will compile. Okay, suppose we are compiling this Java program. See, compulsory we have to store this using test.java. Now here we have not written public, means default access specifier. Inside this package you can access this. Just now suppose I am writing like this. Suppose I want to use this package in any other program, suppose, then compulsory write here public. Suppose in any other program, means in any other package, if you want to access this class, then you have to compulsory write here public. Now suppose I want to just compile this. Normally how we compile Java program? Java C, and then we write test.java. Now tell me whether you will get any error or it will be compiled properly. You have written first statement as a package statement. Of course you will not get any type of error. This will be definitely compiled properly. Test.class file will be created, but it will be placed inside current working directory. No any package will be created. If you want that package should be created and inside that this test.class file should be placed, then don't go for this. This is a normal practice. It is only applicable if you are not writing this package statement. If you have written this type of package statement, means you want that this class file, test.class file should be placed inside this package. If you want to achieve that, there is a syntax for compilation that is somewhat different. See how to do that here. Java C -d dot test.java. In this way you have to compile the test.java file. Then what will happen? See, this D stands for destination. Destination will be considered as this pack1 folder, and this inside that pack1 package, this test.class file, this test.class file will get stored. Getting? Now see, this dot stands for current working directory. Inside that current working directory, this pack1 folder will be created, and inside that this test.class file will be saved. Getting? In this way this test.class file will be saved inside this pack1 package. Getting? Now suppose you have written like this, the normal convention like inbuilt packages are like java.awt, java.io. In the same way, suppose I have written like com.elogic.practice. Then what will happen? Suppose you have compiled this program in this way, then in current working directory, the package, in current working directory, first the com folder will be created. Inside that eLogic folder will be there, and inside that practice folder will be there, and inside that this test.class file will get stored. Getting? In this way the path will be, means inside current, dot stands for current working directory. Inside that com folder will be created. If already there is a com folder, then it will not be created again. And that inside that com folder, it will check whether there is any eLogic folder. Yes, then inside that practice folder will be created. If it is present, then if it is not present, it will be created again. Inside that practice folder will be checked, is there any practice folder? No. Then again that practice folder will be created inside eLogic, and inside that test.class file will be saved. Getting? If you have created package like this, here semicolon is must. Okay, now see, instead of current working directory, I want to create this folder and this file structure on any other drive. Then here just write like this, e colon means inside that e drive this com folder will be created, then eLogic, then practice, and inside that test.class. For example, suppose we have created any other suppose we have written any other Java program, and there we are writing like this, com.elogic.let java, and here suppose I am writing class test2. Now already we have created this test.class file, and it is saved here like this. Now suppose I am writing like this, this is again one more program suppose, and there we have written like this, suppose -t.test2.java. Getting? This test2.java means this here class name is test2, that's why we have to save this file compulsory using test2.java name. Now whenever we will compile like this, simple java c -d.test2.java, then what will happen, here it will check what is the path given here inside this package name. Inside here package name is like this, means com folder should be there, inside that eLogic, and inside that java, and inside that test2.class file will be saved. Now here dot means current working directory. Inside current working directory, com folder is already present, eLogic is already present, but this java is not present inside that eLogic. That's why inside that eLogic one folder will be created like java, and inside that test2.class file will be created. Now suppose you have written like this only com.elogic, and suppose you are writing one more program in this way. Okay, now test3.class file is to be created now. Now after compilation, suppose you have written like test3.java. Now what will happen, see, inside current working directory com folder is already there, inside that eLogic folder is already present, inside that now test3.class file should be saved. Now inside eLogic that test3.class file will be saved directly. Getting? In this way. Now if you want to use this test3 class, then you have to just write import statement like import com.elogic.star or com.elogic.test3. If you want to use these classes like this test.class, then you have to write like com.elogic.practice.star or com.elogic.practice.test. Getting? If you want to use test2 class, then you have to import you have to write import statement like com.elogic.java.star or java.test2 in this way. Suppose this practice is having both classes, then if you have written practice.star, then automatically these two classes you can use. Getting? But suppose you have written like only com.elogic.star, then only this class you can use. These classes are inside subfolders, sub packages. These are just like sub packages. Then you cannot use these classes in any Java program. Getting? You know already using import statement we can use a package in our program. It may be any built-in package or package created by the programmer like this. Okay. Now these are just two types of packages. Now some important conclusions about package statement I am going to discuss in the next session. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.